Good morning and welcome to my YouTube live stream of my Stretch and Flex yoga inspired workout. We're going to get started here in just a few moments. The only thing you need today is a yoga mat. If you're thinking of sweat, bring a towel, and I do give you a few breaks during our workout, so if you want to bring some water, have something to sip on nearby. Today's workout is going to be some yoga centric with a little bit of emphasis on some strength. We're going to do some things today that we're going to work on our core and upper body strength, some things we don't normally do in our yoga series, so get ready for that. So let's get started. I'm going to move to the front and center of my mat. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in. We're just going to stay here for a moment, nice and tall, and work on some breathing. As you exhale, drop your hands down, let your hands come back behind you, and roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Inhale again. Big breath in, big reach for the ceiling. Exhale, reach away, reach down, and then reach back. One more time in. Exhale, reach wide, and now reach back. And now nice and simple, just bend the knees, let your hands come right to the tops of your knees. Nice and long through your spine, and then just reach a little bit further, maybe below your knees. Again, keep your spine long, keep reaching your head forward, a little bit lower, just a little bit lower. And we're always a little tight the first time we get into this forward fold, so just kind of give yourself a little mental mark of how far you're going down. And then as we progress throughout the workout and we come back to forward fold, I want you to recognize the difference. Soften your knees, drop your butt, we're coming back up. Reach the arms forward to get there. Interlace the fingers, draw your shoulders back without arching your low back. And let your arms come down by your side. Deep breath in, arms go wide. Exhale, soften the knees, bring the hands just to the tops of the knees, and then slowly lengthen your legs again and start the fold. Slide your hands down, get low, find that spot, relax your head and neck, belly button is in. Tighten the muscles in your thighs, that'll help lengthen the back of your legs. Now soften your knees, keep your hands on the floor, take that left leg back to a lunge. You're straddling that right leg, lengthening the back leg. Now step back with the right leg into a downward dog. Open up the fingers, press to the palm of your hand. You're trying to get your chest to go towards your thighs as you press your heels toward the ground. And continue lifting your hips. Come forward to a straight arm plank, and as slow as we can, let's reach for the floor all the way. Release to the tops of your feet and press to the length of your arms, but don't let your hips come off the ground into a baby cobra. Release down, tuck the toes, be strong as you come off the floor and press back to a downward dog. Again, set that position, press to the palm of your hand, not your fingertips. Lift the hips high, drop the heels low. Soften your knees and bring that left foot all the way through this time. If you need help, grab that foot and bring it where it needs to be. Now lengthen your spine, lengthen your back leg. And now step your right foot forward. And let's find that forward fold again. See if you're a little bit looser now. Lengthen your legs by tightening your thighs. Keep that pressure out of your low back. No tension in your neck. Soften your knees, hands are going to reach forward. Come all the way up. Interlace your fingers, draw your shoulders back without arching your low back. Return the hands to your side. Deep breath in, reach wide. Overhead, hold the hands there. Now bend your knees, get your hips as low as they can go. Find your hands to the floor, and now lengthen through the legs again. step your right leg back. Step the left foot back into downward dog. Remember, if you try tightening your thighs here like you do in forward fold, a bunch of things happen. You'll find the legs lengthen, a little stretch, go deeper into your Achilles, into your hamstrings. Come forward to your straight arm plank. With the elbows coming close to your body, take it all the way down. Release to the top of your feet. Press the baby cobra. Keep the elbows in, keep your hips down. Keep your glutes squeezed, that'll help protect your back. Come on down, tuck the toes, press back up, and press back to downward dog. Deep breath in. As you exhale, pop that right foot all the way through. Left foot, bring it in, forward fold. Soften your knees, drop your hips, reach your hands forward, come up high, interlace your hands, draw the shoulders back, arms come down. Now, as we go back to the floor in the sun salutation, we're going to bring in some of those strength moves I mentioned earlier. Work with me the best you can. If you need to, we're going to drop to your knees. Inhale, arms wide. Hold the arms overhead. Drop your hips low. Hands to the floor, lengthen your legs. Soften your knees, step your left foot back. Now hold this position for a moment. Keep that left hand on the floor. Take that right arm and open toward that right leg. And as you rotate that hand up, lower the hips a little bit further. Take that hand down, step back. This time I want you to hold it into a straight arm plank. Now keep your hips high. Your fingers are facing forward. We're going to reach the crown of your head forward, bend the elbows behind you, and then press back up. Remember, keep the hips high, so when you come down, your chest leads the way. Again, down, press up. One more time, practice. Head forward, elbows go back, press. Now as slow as you can, take it all the way down. Don't just collapse. Release to the tops of your feet, press, baby cobra. Release it all the way down, tuck the toes, and now remember, elevate the hips off the ground just a little bit, and then refine that strength. Press back to downward dog. Soften your knees, right foot comes all the way through. We're going to take that twist again toward that right side. Reach. Now this time, instead of stopping straight up to the ceiling, reach back a little bit further. Straddle the leg, step back, stopping at that straight arm plank. Make sure your head is well forward of your fingers. Hips are up in the air. Now slowly lift left leg. Pivot from your hips. Use your glutes to lift the leg. Keep the leg straight. You can flex the foot if you want to. Drop it back down. Now switch. Lift the other leg from the glutes. Head is still way forward of your fingers. Bring it down one more time. Left leg. Lift. Hold. Down. Squeeze and lift. Good. As slow as you can. Come on down. Don't give up. Baby cobra. Release the feet. Press up. Come on down. Tuck the toes. Elevate the hips just a little bit. Find that strength. Press up. Back to downward dog. Now, this time, left foot comes all the way through. Bring it there. Now, keep the right hand down. Turn it open. toward the left side. We're only going straight up to the ceiling this time. Lengthen your back leg. Lower the hips. Bring the hand down. Step back with the left leg. Stop. And then straight arm plank. Feet shoulder width apart. Keep your hips high. Head forward of your fingers. Right arm. Reach forward. Hold it like you're shaking someone's hand. Bring it down. Left side. Reach. Hold. One more time on each side. Reach. Back. Left side. As slow as you can, take it all the way down. Release the feet. Baby cobra. Use that elevated stretch. You probably feel it again a little bit better now than we did earlier on this one. Come on down, tuck your toes, press the hips up, back to downward dog. Now left foot comes through again. We're going to rotate into that left leg. This time back a little further. Bring that hand down. Right foot drags in. Forward fold. Should be much different than when we started in this position. Tighten the muscles in your thighs, let it lengthen your legs, relax your neck, belly button to your spine. Soften your knees, drop your hips. Deep breath in as your arms come forward. Exhale, release them out to the side. Good job, guys. Way to start. Step off your mat, take a short break. We're going to come back and get into some more strength poses. But we may be done with the straight arm planks for a little bit. As you come on back to your mat, we're going to start with a little wide stance. So as you start to work your way out wide, we're going to keep your toes facing forward. For now, you can keep your knees soft, but we will be getting into some tightening in your muscles to help lengthen. So just remember, this is all about exploring what your body can do, what you allow it to do, strengthening your body. So whatever position we're in, there are always little subtle adjustments we can make. Particularly in this position, I'm always adjusting my feet, turning toes, turning heels. Particularly as we get into more of the strength poses, sometimes you have to kind of tweak that out. So always go with feels good for you, particularly in your knees, for your hips, and in your low back. So we're going to take one of my favorite strength poses or strength moves that we do in my strength classes and just bring in a little yoga feel to it. So we're going to start with a little side lunge to the right side, but we're going to use our hands for support. The first thing I want you to do is start to bend your right leg, put your right hand on there, and get that left hand ready, and just see how close you can get to the floor. If you can touch it, fine. If you can get that hand off and get your elbow there, that's fine too. But from here, we're going to stay for a bit, okay? You notice I've already made the adjustment by turning my right foot out a little bit. That's just because I want to make sure my knee and my foot are going the same direction. You can do the same. So all I want to do here is really plant my left foot down, work on dropping my hips, and then also work on sitting back. So my right foot is flat, I'm not onto the ball of my foot. I can lift my toes up off the ground. If you have all the weight into the balls of your feet, you can't do that. Now slowly bend that left leg, come back to center, and just bring yourself up. Now, extrapolating that pose a little bit further into yoga, turn that right foot, face it out. Let's go back into that same direction. You can start with the hand, drop to the elbow, let that hand reach the floor. Now look where we are. We're already into our supported lunge, getting ready for warrior, extended warrior. So keep that elbow on your knee, let that left hand come off the ground and bring it to your waist, because what I want you to feel is that you're pulling your shoulder back. Open up that palm to the sky. Now let that left hand face the floor, and we're going to draw a little, almost a full circle. So reach back, come all the way around, just to the top of your head, and then bring it back. Again, reach full circle, keep your shoulder open, let it touch your head, and then come on back. One more time, reach. Now hold right here. Take your eyes, look at the inside of your elbow, lower your hips a little bit further. Circle that arm back to the ground. Slowly bend that left leg. Come on back up. Now we're just going to redo that to the other side. Again, get both feet facing forward now. Soft knees to start. Take that left hand to your knee, start to bend. We haven't turned that foot out yet. Take that right hand to the floor, if you can get there, and just work on keeping it posed. I'm gonna make that little adjustment on my left foot like I did to the right. So my knee and foot are going in the same direction. Now what I'm trying to do here is see how far I can go down and keep my feet in good position. Remember, I'm sitting back into my left butt cheek, keeping this right leg locked and strong. Slowly bend that right leg, come on back up. Now take your left foot, turn it completely out. Keep that hand on your left knee. Take that hand down to the floor again. And then now work it to the elbow. And bring that right hand up to your waist. This is where it's gonna start. Turn that shoulder open. Now let that right arm drop. Here we go, deep breath in. Lengthen, get that arm to touch your head, and bring it back down. Inhale, up, make that circle, keep the hips down, and bring it back. One more time, and we're gonna hold. Bring it up, bring it around, hold it. Take your eyes to that hand, lower the hips a little further. Reach that hand back down. Soften that right knee. Come back to center. Come on up. Step or hop your feet back together. Give that pose a little bit of a rest. Shake your legs out. But we're going to step right back into it in a moment. Just into a different warrior position. So one of the alignment factors I want you to keep in mind is always shoulders and hips, and how they work together. And then anytime you get off of that alignment, you really got to make sure that you're using your core to do that. So let's go back out wide again. Toes facing forward, bend your knees. All right, so again, this is how we're gonna start. Now turn that right foot. This time we're not gonna use the hands onto the legs. I want you to bend into that right leg. Again, pay attention to your alignment here. Shoulders over hips. You can bend that right knee without letting your shoulders go there. I know you can. But again, it's about controlling and having strength through your core. Get low, get low. Let your arms hang down in front. Take a deep breath in. Arms come overhead. Hold them about shoulder width apart. And from finger to hips, straight lines coming down. Look, nice and straight right here. Okay, if you're off a little bit, you may have to straighten that leg some. Let's worry about alignment from shoulder to hips for right now. Now, float the arms down, parallel to the floor. Warrior two. Now, warrior two, your vision is typically over that right hand. If you need to keep it in another direction, that's fine. But now all we're gonna do is work on your pivot from your core. So right now, you should be straight, shoulders over hips. Now reach forward. Now what's keeping those arms parallel? It's not your shoulders, it's your core. Now come back the other way. Get your shoulders to go on the other side of your hips. Same thing here, reaching back. It's not your shoulders, it's your core right here. Go forward again. A little bit further. Remember, push off that straight leg in the back. Now pull back, push off that straight leg, that bent leg in the front. One more time each way. Reach, reach. Now flip that right hand up, and now take a big, big reach back. Sun Warrior, my favorite yoga pose. Slide that left hand down, take your eyes to the inside of that right arm, and take the bend back. Really feel like, again, open through your core, supported through your hips. Bring it all the way through, elbow to knee, hand against your head like we were earlier. Now use the strength in your core. Don't give up on your legs. Right back to warrior two. Lower the arms, straighten that right leg, turn the toe in. Soften your knees, give those legs a little rest. Now let's take it the other way. Turn that left foot out, start to bend. Now that back leg or the right leg, for me, is now locked and straight. This muscle right here, that quadricep, keeping that muscle, keeping that leg intact and strong. Bend, keep your shoulders over hips, let your arms hang down. Deep breath in, hold the arms shoulder width apart overhead. Check your alignment, bend a little bit more if you can. Now take those arms to warrior two. Take your vision over that left hand for just a moment. Now keep the lower body stable, steady, low and strong. Reach forward, get past your hips. Now come back and get past your hips with your shoulders. Go forward again. Remember, feel your core controlling this movement. Not your shoulders, not your legs. Every bit of it in your center. Reach, reach, flip that left hand, Sun Warrior. Really take it back now. And as you go back and up and over, lower the hips even further. But don't bend that back leg. Keep it strong and steady. Come on through, elbow to knee, arm overhead, and go low with your hips. Load that right hand down. Keep the hands to the floor as you turn that foot in. Wide leg, forward fold. Just a bit of recovery pose. Press your hips back, reach your head forward. Now let your body weight shift forward so your heels become free off the ground so they can turn in, toes out, your knees automatically bend. Drop your hips one hand at a time to your knees, kind of push out for a little stretch, and then slowly come on up. Step or hop your feet back underneath your hips. Step off your mat for a moment, take a short break. So we're gonna use tree pose today to explore a little bit of our balance. And as we go to work on balance, if you need something around you just to kind of touch, tip on, just in case, feel free to. But there's three positions that we're gonna start with, or options that you can start with for tree pose. One of them is you keep your toe connected to the ground and just put your heel up against the inside of your ankle. Next position up, you're gonna have that foot just against your calf, below the knee. And we always want to avoid pushing directly into the knee joint. So the next pose up is gonna have that foot above the knee, okay? So you find a spot that works good for you, just make sure you're not pushing right into that knee joint. Once you find a place that's good for you, bring those hands to prayer. So that standing leg is ever so slightly bent in the knee. That hip is open. You never feel like you're sticking your butt out, so you want to do a little pelvic tilt here. And now just take those hands, we're going to go straight up to the ceiling. My hands will disappear just for a moment out of screen, but they are very much together, pushing. And then now just open up the arms and hold right here. keep the arms, keep the shoulders peeled back, and we're going to slowly release that branch off of your leg. Don't let it touch the floor, but straighten it out on a diagonal. Reach the arms back overhead, shoulder width apart, and you're going to find yourself in star pose. Again, slightly bent on that standing leg. Other leg is straight, off to the side. And slowly come back, lower the arms, bring that foot back underneath you. So again, a lot of things are happening on there. That leg you're standing on is the pillar, it's the column, it's the strength that's keeping you up. Your core is what's keeping you from wobbling all the way around. So a lot of things are going on in this pose. Don't just think about your connection to the ground, think about your connection to different parts of your body. So let's find that spot you want for tree pose on the other side. Again, floor, calf, or above the knee. Either way, keep that hip open, tuck your hips under, bring your hands to prayer. Slightly bend the knee on that standing leg. And now take the arms straight up. Slowly open the arms, wider than your shoulders. Draw the shoulders back and hold. Slowly releasing that branch. Remember, move slowly. Straighten the leg, let it hang out at a diagonal, wider than your body. Notice your shoulders are still parallel to the floor. Standing leg now has all the weight of your body. Arms come back overhead. You're going to hold them on that same diagonal as you had that free leg. Now you're into star pose. Now don't close your eyes. I don't want you to lose your balance, but I want you to feel the connections of everything except your foot to the floor. So feel the muscle in your standing leg, in your hamstrings and your glutes, your core muscles, the shoulders. What muscle are you using to hold that leg off the ground? Slowly return. Come on back. I'm going to shake your legs out for a bit. I'm going to go into one more balance pose. Now this one's a little tough one, particularly if you have trouble in your hips. This can be a standing modified half lotus. So we're going to grab that right foot with your left hand. We're going to pull it up high, up to the top of your left leg, and just gently push that right knee down. Remember, tuck your hips underneath you. For me, when I do this, I start to feel a little bit of opening in my hips, particularly here in the front. And slightly bend on that standing leg. Now take that right arm straight up. Now reach that right arm over so there's a slight bend through your torso. Now here's an exercise in control. We're going to slowly release your grip on that right foot. Don't just let your leg fall, because I want you to end up in star pose. So release, leg goes back out. Free arm goes back overhead. Here's where we were earlier. Slowly release, take a breath, and now bring up that other side. Left foot with the right hand. Bring it up high. Drop that left knee down as best you can. And for me, that starts to open up my hip. Left arm, bring it up. Don't rush. Here we go, reaching it over. And slowly release that left foot without letting it fall. Out to your diagonal and back to your star pose. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it on down. Step off your mat, take a quick sip of water. When you come back, head on down to the floor on your hands and knees. We're going to go to work on some more stretching, flexing, and a little bit of strength. All right, let's start on all fours, and I'm going to start by moving the side that's closest to you so you can see, and then I'll switch when we get to the other side. But how I want to start this is, I'm going to do a little cat stretch and turn that into cow, head up, hips out. One more time. Into cow. And the reason I like to go both directions is that then it's much easier to find what we call neutral spine. So here we go, find somewhere right in the middle. Now walk your hands forward. And now shift your shoulders forward. So now you feel like you're almost in a push-up position on your knees, but your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. So we talked about developing some strength in today's workout. So we're going to stay on your right knee. Lift that left leg straight back behind you. And now dive your head forward, bend your elbows straight back behind you. And then push back up. Don't push back. Just push up. Dive forward. Press up. Remember your elbows are bending behind you. Dive forward. Press up. Now take that leg you've been holding up in the air. Swing it around to the outside of your left hand. And now you're into a big hip flexor stretch. So take that right foot, that's the one behind you. Push the top of that foot into the floor and let that knee come off the ground. Take a breath and lower a little bit more. Drop that knee back down. Walk that left foot off just a little bit, not too far. Take that left hand to your knee and give it a gentle push. Now walk that foot back forward, still having those hands on the floor. And now we're going to double up this stretch. We're going to go back, sitting on that right foot, stretching hamstring. Now come back forward, hip flexors. Sit it back. Hamstring. Forward. Hip flexor. One more time each way, ready? Take that, straddle that left foot now, and walk your left foot towards your right hand. Lay the knee down, and just let your body weight take it from there. You can collapse down, you can just hang out here, but now we're really working with those hip rotators. Breath, see if you can sink that stretch a little bit deeper. Now use the strength of that back leg. Come up on your toe and your knee, press strong, come back to all fours. Now I'm just going to turn around so my moving side is closer to you. Cat, cow, cat, cow. Now find that neutral spine. Walk the hands forward. Take that right leg straight back behind you. Here we go. Tricep. Dive the head forward. Push. Again. Reach and press. Keep the elbows pinched against the body. Remember, push up, don't push back. Now bring that right foot to the outside of your right hand. Shift your weight forward. Walk the right foot off just a little. Take that right hand and bring it back. Give it a little push. Walk that foot back in. Keep both hands on the instep. Now push into the top of that back foot. Take the knee off the ground so you can get a little bit lower. Now drop the knee back down. Here we go. Walk it back. Hamstring stretch. Come back forward. Take it back again. Bring it forward. We'll hit that one more time. Here we go. Take it back. Bring it forward. Straddle that right leg. Now walk the right hand to your left. Excuse me, your right foot to your left hand. Drop the knee down. And just like we were a few moments ago, let your body weight do its work. You can collapse and find it, or you can just let your shoulder weight sink in like I am with my arms straight. Tuck up on your back toe, use your strength, come back to all fours. Open up your feet, open your knees almost as wide as the mat. Now sit back to a child's pose stretch. Come back to all fours. Now close up your stance a little bit with your hands. Now we're going to transition from all fours, and I assume you're in neutral position now, into dolphin. So look where your hands are. Just replace that with your elbows. Clasp your hands together. So you should feel all the length of your forearm from your elbow to your wrist into the mat. Elbows are wide. The energy is coming together in your hands, so it forms a little bit of a triangle. Now tuck your toes. Tighten the muscles in your abs. Lift the hips high and press strong into your forearms as you drive back. You can walk your toes a little closer if you like, but the energy needs to be pushing from your forearms back into your legs. So tighten the muscles in your thighs, belly button to your spine. Push as hard as you can. No tension in your neck. You're not trying to look forward. Just relax. Push, breathe. Now drop to your knees. Come back up to your hands. Now take that right foot into a donkey kick and open the hip. Remember, I have not bent an arm. I haven't tilted a shoulder. I'm just taking a donkey kick and open my hip right there. Come back down. Left leg, same thing. Take it up, open. Squeeze your hips. So as your leg goes to one side, your hips are pushing to the other, but not at the peril of bending an arm or moving your shoulders. Come on back to your knees. Back to that forearm position on the ground. Interlace your fingers, tuck your toes. Here we go. Drive to dolphin, drive back. How hard can you push into the floor? How hard can you drop your heels down? Breathe. As you exhale is when you want to push that force. Keep trying to lower your heels. Keep trying to keep your belly button in. Back to your knees. Come on up to your hands. Here we go. Right leg. Donkey kick up. Hip open. Bring it down. Left side. Up and open. Really work on relaxing your shoulders. Bring that knee down. One more time through that series. Forearms down. Interlace your fingers. Tuck your toes.
lift and press. This is a power move, guys. Even though we're not moving, even though it's an isometric press, give it some energy. Like you're trying to press your arms through the mat to the floor. Drive backwards, hips high, heels low. Release, down to your knees, back up to your hands. Right leg, up and over. Bring it down, left leg, up and over. Back to your knees. Tuck your toes. Now this time, lift the hips. We're into downward facing dog. You can walk your hands out, get into your pose the way you know you can. Now we'll slowly bend that right leg. Press stronger into the left. And switch. Keep relaxing your shoulders, keep pushing with your hands. One more time. Bend the right, straighten the left. Switch. Level off both legs. Soften your knees, bring that right foot all the way through. Left leg follows, forward fold. Lengthen your legs, relax your head and neck. Soften your knees, drop your hips, take a deep breath in, arms reach wide. Come all the way overhead. As you exhale, arms wide. Finish with your hands behind. Interlace your fingers, draw your shoulders back. Press your hands away. Release. That was a great workout today. Not just a bunch of stretching and flexing and finding stuff. That was a workout. I enjoyed that. Using a lot of strength, both against the floor and into our bodies, but most importantly throughout the great rest of your day. And I will see y'all next time. Bye.